verse. Add value to my work, check the volume on my work. You get what you give, and I'm loving all the perks. Easy gift and the curse, make them check another verse.
World, what they do. I'm in my covering my eyes mode to hold back the tears I got right now for these goddamn Duke Blue Devils. Okay, fuck all that. I wear the Kansas City hat. This is in honor of the Duke colors. Bruh, how we blow wreck like that last night, dog. You know what I mean? I gotta cover my eyes, dog. Cause I damn near want to cry right now. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. What happened? First of all, congratulations to Houston, right? They outplayed them. They outplayed Duke. Duke. That's what I don't know for y'all who are not familiar with basketball. You need a closer. Flag, he's a superstar. He's about to be the number one pick in the draft. You know, but him being a freshman showed last night. It just did. You know, he got his. Let me look at the stats. He got 27 points last night because he's just that talented. But he wasn't dominant, and he missed shots. I'm not just talking about the game winner. I'm talking about, you know, there was little. He almost fell a couple of times, and he does that because really he's only 18 years old. He came into school the way his birthday lined up or something. He's like 18. He's not even 19. There's a bunch of 22, 23-year olds. That's a difference, especially in experience. You can see in his frame. He need to hit the weight room a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And he showed little moments where it's like, yeah, he got a gifted athleticism and height and wingspan, but it just showed that he was still a freshman. There's been guys that have been great as freshmen that come into college basketball, and he is going to be a good NBA player. He's got the skill set. He can dribble, he can rebound, he can defend. Now he became a shooter. He didn't even shoot good beginning of the season and became a better shooter. But the difference in the game was Houston's was experienced. The fifth year senior Roberts, he was getting rebounds over my man Maluk, the 7'2" African, just freaking nature, like 7'2", but then got a 9.5 wingspan, like makes him 9'5" because his arms are so long. But he was scoring on him with clutch buckets. The Roberts is like 6'9", bro, 6'8". It was just hard and experience. You know, just like the other guard from Houston who won a championship at Baylor, LJ Cryer, MVP of the game. That dude, when we were winning in the first half, wasn't missing from outside. He kept Houston in the game. I'm watching. I'm like, oh shit, this kid, like, I already know what time it is because he's been in this situation before. You know what I mean? He been here before. So he was showing like he gonna put his team on his back, and see that him and Roberts is why, and Sharp. I'm not sure what year Sharp is, but Roberts and Cryer for sure, like upperclassmen, been in the tournament, like their experience is why my Duke team that's full of a bunch of NBA lottery pick freshmen. Utah's experience was the difference, dog. I mean, excuse me, I keep saying Utah. Houston's experience was a difference, bro. Like, and on top of that, Shire, this man's only like 36 years old. You know what I mean? 36. I know he's young in coaching terms. He looked young. The man looked like he could still play in the NBA as far as how he looked. To me, he made some coaching errors. You know, I like Zion James. He's like a point forward for our team. He's not a true point guard, but we like to let him handle the rock. But he's not a point guard. He doesn't make crazy passes doesn't have court vision. He brings the ball up the floor, and he's a hell of a defender, elite defender. The time when Duke was the most, I felt like we could have blowed the game open to when our backup point guard was in the game, Foster. Foster is a true point guard. He got a handle. He I don't know how good he can shoot though, because I never see him shoot a lot from the outside. But he got a mean handle and he attacked the rim. But he got a handle and he got a court vision and a floor general way about him. But Shire likes James to start, and he's been right because we've been a dominant team with James starting. But as a coach, now it's championship time. You make changes, you make adjustments to win the championship. You come out of the norm, your normal tendencies, your normal rotations, because it's gonna you feel like it's gonna mess the other team up enough to give you edge to a victory. And he should have second half should have brought the starters out and subs and what's my man's name again? Foster should have been the starter in the second half over Zion James. I think that would have been the difference. And me too. I also didn't understand why my man didn't play or not either. Nagba. Yeah. Gongba, Nagba. He another African. We got two of them. This dude's 7 foot. He the only reason he not going to the NBA this year because he didn't play. He's a freshman too. Like he looked like Maluk, like he was right behind Maluk going to the NBA because he already dominated in the paint all season. But he got some stuff to work on. He ain't got no offensive repertoire. He rebounds, he blocks shots, but he got out rebounded last night. I would have put both of them boys in with with um with Flag playing the three and just would have been way too tall. Because Flag can play, he can run point. You could put Flag anywhere. I'd have Flag, I would have had just murdered him with height. We would have been way too tall for them. Because Houston's known for their offensive rebounding. They're known to be a scrappy team. Man, put the towers on them. You know? And that's why I said Shire should have mixed it up. He stuck to his normal road. And then he brought back this kid Brown who's been injured, and he was just giving him heavy minutes. And I'm like, you can see that boy was out of whack, but he was playing good. He was scrappy, but he was out of whack, man. Like you just stop playing the other freshman, Nagba. You guys excuse my if for Dookie fans and guys. I don't know how to pronounce his name. You know what I mean? And I'm in my feelings right now. That's why my eyes are covered. I like this too. You know what I mean? Oh my God, I can't believe we lost that game, bro. I'm watching the game. You know what I mean? I'm watching. I'm kind of just chilling. I'm like, oh, we got this. But then we got to that like 3 minute mark. I'm like, dude, these niggas are like really close right now. They within striking distance. What's going on? Dude, you got to close it out. And then let me say something too about my man. And I hope he don't go pro. He needs to stay. Tyrese Proctor. Tyrese. Last year, you was our starting point guard, right? You was the upperclassman with all these freshmen. I think Sion too is I think he's a senior. I think he's like a grad senior. Like he's played, but he didn't play for Duke. Proctor's this is third season at Duke. It wasn't enough for you putting the team on the shoulders, and it was too much fading in the back and watching these freshmen. They doing their thing, but they needed a general out there, bro. But I salute Houston, bro. I can't deny that them boys at heart, they were not going, and you could see it all game. They were not going. When people play Duke, they hate us, right? So they want to beat us. That shit is dead serious. I got homies. They hate Duke. You know, it's just one of the schools people don't like. It's just the way we are. You know what I'm saying? They just don't like Duke. They have a hatred for us. You know what I'm saying? Um, a lot of teams feel the same way and players. They don't want to lose to us. They're gonna go all out. They're gonna give us what we got. That's why I salute Duke when they do win championships, because they not only were the best team, but they outplay people with that extra effort y'all put because y'all hate us so much. It's like every game a rivalry game for Duke because everybody hate us. You know what I'm saying? We got to be great. And Houston, you could tell they were like, dog, we're not losing these niggas. We not. Like, you can see it, like especially that Roberts kid, right? He's a 5th-year senior. He been in Houston the whole time. He was not going. He was not going. And he pumping his team up. I love it, damn. That's why I salute Houston, bro. You know what I mean? Duke was missing that. And that's why I want to call out Proctor. Because that should have been Proctor should have been on that. Because Proctor was on that team last year that went to the Elite Eight and lost. And he was saying he didn't shoot good. And he got better with his shooting. But, bro, like his ability, his lack of ability to be in pressure situations, to put the ball in his hand, he just faded in the background when he needed to be up front. You know what I'm saying? So, damn. All right, so let's talk about the other game. Let's talk about the Florida Gators and Auburn Tigers. Well, I'm glad I don't. I'm glad I don't bet, dog. I'm glad I don't bet, dog, because my championship, I thought it was gonna be Auburn against Duke, and my coworker told me, he looked at me like, "Boy, B, it's gonna be Florida against Houston," and he was dead ass right. I owe that man a box of chicken. I I owe my dog a box of chicken, bro, because I don't like to bet, dog. I used to have a bad gambling, or you getting your feelings, especially about that sports shit, or anything, shooting dice, all that. Anyways, um, man, this boy named Walter Clayton Jr. from the University of Florida is the real deal. That boy is an assassin. What? I first listen. I watched him last round. I'm like, who is this kid? Like, I keep hearing about. I wasn't impressed. But then he did this miraculous come from behind. He did what Houston did to us, right? And you give him a little bit of time, he made it happen. You feel me? He did. He did what Houston did to Duke, to Texas Tech in the Elite Eight. But then when I watched him last night against an Auburn team that was the #1 overall team in the whole tournament, was a top 3-5 team all season long. Like, it was really all the teams that are in the Final Four was the best team. That's why was a good Final Four, bro. And every game was a battle. Every game was a battle. Every one. Like, Auburn had Florida. They were up just like we were. Then here come this kid Clayton, bro. That boy is exactly what I'm talking about with what Proctor needed to be. I don't want Proctor to take over a game like that, because that's just another skill set. But just don't shy away from the moment. You just handling the rock a little bit, because we had problem inbounding. That's how we lost. It was an inbound pass. We turned it over. Houston hit a 3 that gave them the 1-point lead, and now we lost the game right there. It was over. It was like it was like less than a minute left. That was so big that we turned it over right there. And it was a turnover Tyree had, but we off to Duke. Let's talk about the Gators and the Auburn Tigers. Listen, the reason why I thought Auburn was going to beat Florida, I thought Auburn had a better team. But I really underestimated how good this boy Clayton Jr. is, boy. That dude is nice. And I'm sitting there looking, I'm looking at, see, I'm the type of dude, this is why I do these type. This is why I felt that I'm capable of learning how to have my own podcast or YouTube channel, show, whatever you want to call these shits, right? Because I'm a sport stats guy. When I was young, I was obsessed with this stuff. But that you can't lose a memory. You keep watching sports now, all that knowledge, it just keep adding until one day when I get old enough, and just say fuck it all together, right? And don't want to watch no more. But as long as I keep watching year to year, I can tell you about people. I can watch a game for minutes and know about players from when I saw them in college the year prior, or the year prior on that same level, if it's in the professional ranks or the college ranks. You know what I mean? And when I seen this kid Clayton Jr. play, I did not know and realize, like, I didn't know nothing about him. I didn't. I underestimated him. But now I see. Like I see that boy is the truth. It's like you can't do that back to back games. And he a shooter. I don't want to say Curry, right? But this man, like, he had one shot in that game in Auburn. The man had a 6'10". I'm talking about the man, the 6'10" dude on him. He on him. The dude took a side step, rose above him, and banged the three on him. I said, "Oh, this boy is the truth." Oh, wait a minute. What? I was talking about just took a side step just so you can have a little space. Rose above him. Hey, switch that thing. I'm like, this kid is the truth, bro. And he taking it to the rim. He ain't just a shooter. He ain't just a shooter. He had 34 points, man. You know, the knock on him was, and let me go back to me talking about the research, right? They had all type of knock of what he can't do. Why he ain't supposed to be no lottery pick. Okay, you must have 12, and I know why the NBA does that, because like flag is the NFL does the same thing. First of all, what makes you that first round pick is you have the physique or an athleticism that's just God given, right? That's just you can't teach that. You either fast in a mug in the NFL, but in basketball, it's the physique. LeBron James, come on, bro. The man was coming out of high school, looked like a whole grown man, right? Zion Williamson, same thing. Cooper Flag, Kevin Durant. You got these freaks of nature. Look at Wembanyama. Wembanyama 7'3" and can handle a rock. Already number one pick. You barely got to be good. We can teach you what we can. You know what I'm saying? Then they look at skills, right? So there's all these dudes that got these NBA, what they want to look at, what they want to be like, you know what I mean? Like, why we gonna pick these dudes over Mr. Clayton Jr.? And I'm not trying to disrespect the rest of these Gators because they won the game as a team. He ain't the only player, right? But he is gonna be the reason why they win the national championship. I don't know if anybody on that Houston team gonna mess with this kid. And he got a great scrappy team around him. That's why they beat Auburn. Because Auburn's a team known for rebounding. They got trees, but so does Florida. Chandon, Chinyelu, and Hall, Haugh. All them boys 6'9", 6'10", and they all athletic. Like they're not stiff trees. They can run around. They can move around and they rebounding. They made your boy All-American Player of the Year candidate Broom from Auburn look pedestrian as hell, bro. I was like, whoa, no wonder he's not talking about it being no lottery pick. Like he gonna get drafted, but bruh, he looks slow to them Florida boys. They was making him look. He was working way too hard. Like he got his buckets. He had. Let me see. He had 16. He was 6 for 14 on the court. But honestly, that man put up 25 and 30 points like it's nothing. He was working against some Florida boys. He got some buckets, and then they were denying him the basketball. They made the Auburn guards, who I thought was the advantage. I thought, see, and I learned. I underestimated. That's my underestimation of Clayton because I like Petaway and Pettifer, excuse me, and I like Jones from Auburn. I thought they was a 1-2 punch that could outplay Clayton, but Clayton outplayed both of them. He doubled. He almost doubled both of their points. He did double it. Between Jones and Pettifer, they had 17 together. Walter Clayton Jr. had 34. But the player that should get some mention and some love is Martin. See, that's the scrappy one, the other guard, and he's athletic and a mug. That boy had a dunk so nasty. He had two of them really fast breaks. One was he just took off like he tried to make sure people weren't gonna catch him to behind him and took off like one step from the free throw line, just hung in the air, right? But the second one where he It was a fast break, but he wasn't gonna be denied and smashed that over two Auburn player, Auburn big man, bruh. I was like, Florida's about to win this thing, bruh. And that dunk right there, like Auburn was winning, but once he did that, momentum, it was like a tidal wave. Florida was coming now. So shout out to the Gators, bro. And I'm never gonna forget the Gators. They're not just a football school. If all of us remember, in 2000 and I think it's 5 and 6 or 6 and 7, they won back-to-back national champions when they had Al Horford, who's still in the NBA right now, playing for the Boston Celtics. Akeem Noah, they were two. That was a gangster tree duo. Yeah, you know what I mean. Shout out to the Gators and Billy Donovan. They just put him in the Naismith Hall of Fame. He was their coach. He won them back to back as a coach, but he always had Florida nice. It just they fell off a little bit since Donovan been in the NBA. He went on to be the NBA, and I know if he ever NBA ever fell, somebody gonna snatch him. Be back in the college basketball because he had the Gators raw for years in basketball, and to see them here is not a shocker, bro. They've been nice, like they've got history. You know what I mean? This ain't no Auburn was the new kids. You know, I mean, Bruce Pearl's been doing a good job over there, but they ain't like that. They ain't got no. I don't even remember the last time they won a national championship. They just now becoming a basketball program because of Bruce Pearl. You know, and they had a great season, bro. They were great all year. You know, any four of these teams that was in the Final Four, you could put in a national championship game. You know, and it's so funny too how both Florida had was down for a good part of the game against Auburn, and when it was time to close the game out, you gotta know how to do it. Same thing with Duke, and that's why I salute. This national championship is gonna be a good game, man. See, I'm mad my Dukies ain't gonna be in there, but I'm a type of fan too. Like I could just sit back and enjoy the game. I ain't gotta be like. See, I get to watching my teams play. I get in my feelings. I'm acting like I'm a coach. I'm yelling at the TV like I can make a difference. You know. So, and I want to salute my man Shire too, my Duke coach. I know I gotta give Duke a little more love. I don't give it down. I'm a Dookie. He's doing a damn good job for how long he's been a Duke coach. It's only his third or fourth year as a Duke coach, and he already got to a Final Four. So we do expect championship to Duke, but you not Coach K. You working your way up behind a big ass shadow. But Coach K handpicked you. So hopefully we'll get it right next year. But shout out to the Gators and shout out to Houston. It's gonna be a hell of a national championship game. If I could pick right now, I gotta go with Florida. I gotta go with this kid Clayton right now. I don't know if Houston got, but let me not sleep on LJ Cryer. I feel like Cryer and Clayton are gonna go toe to toe. Cause see, Cryer done won one before. He won one with Baylor. I don't know how many years ago it was. It was recent, like 2023, I think, if I'm correct. Yeah, if I'm correct, it was not. I remember I watched it. I did episode one of these when the show was Fanatics. I'm telling you. And he was nasty on that team. He was one of the key rotating guards. They had a group of guards, though. That's what they wanted. They had a mean rotation of guards. Like, could nobody deal with that? They could go five deep, like rotate them dudes. They all could play point. It was too much. That's gonna be the battle. Cryer and Clayton are gonna go at it. But for some reason, I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe I want to cheer for Houston and see Mr. Sampson, Houston's coach, win one. You know what I mean? It's been a while. I don't think he's ever won one, and he's got all kind of wins. I think he's in the Basketball Hall of Fame. He brought the University of Houston back. You know what I mean? They ain't been good since the '80s, and since he's been there, they've been a powerhouse. So, um, you know. But shout out to the teams that are in the national championship game. And let me give a shout out on the women's side to UConn and Gino Auriemma. Dog, this dude is the greatest female basketball coach of all time. For what Dawn Staley doing right now in South Carolina, and she's like the it coach now because she don't won a few already in South Carolina. He just played South Carolina. Auriemma just let people know, don't forget who I'm is. Let me get ratchet on you. Who I'm is. That boy got 12 championships. You know what I mean? So shout out to UConn. Your boy done.